The world loves chocolate, but few people stop to think about where it comes from, or who grows the beans that make this delicious treat. The answer might surprise you. Africa, the continent with breathtaking landscapes and vibrant cultures, produces over 70% of the world's cocoa beans, yet it receives a meager 5% of the profits generated by the global chocolate industry. This stark disparity raises serious questions about fairness, equity, and the power dynamics that govern global trade. This essay will explore the complex world of cocoa production, from the sun-drenched farms of Africa to the supermarket shelves in wealthy nations. We will delve into the intricate supply chain, highlighting the points where value is added and profits are extracted. We will examine the role of multinational companies and their influence on the industry. Most importantly, we will analyze the economic implications for African farmers, who often struggle to make ends meet despite their crucial role in satisfying the world's chocolate cravings. This is not just a story about cocoa, it's a story about power imbalances in the global economy. It's about the urgent need for ethical considerations in international trade, and it's about the responsibility of consumers to demand a fairer deal for the people who grow our food. Imagine a small farm, nestled amidst the lush greenery of Ghana or Ivory Coast. This is where the journey of a cocoa bean begins. Farmers, often working in small cooperatives, cultivate cocoa trees with care and expertise passed down through generations. These farmers tend to their trees, nurturing them from seedlings to mature plants. They prune the branches, fertilize the soil, and protect the delicate blossoms from pests and diseases. When the pods ripen to a vibrant yellow or orange, the harvest begins. Farmers carefully cut the pods from the trees, ensuring minimal damage to the branches. The pods are then split open, revealing rows of white cocoa beans encased in a sweet, pulpy fruit. This pulp is a local delicacy, often enjoyed by children. The beans, however, are destined for a different fate. They hold the key to the world's chocolate supply, yet their journey is far from over. The beans are scooped out of the pods and piled onto banana leaves or placed in wooden boxes. They are then covered and left to ferment for several days. This crucial step develops the flavor and aroma that will eventually transform into the rich taste of chocolate. The fermented beans are then spread out in the sun to dry, their color gradually deepening to a rich brown. This drying process, which can take several days, is essential for reducing the moisture content and preparing the beans for storage and transport. Once dried, the cocoa beans embark on a long and complex journey from African farms to chocolate factories around the world. This journey, known as the supply chain, involves multiple intermediaries, each adding their own costs and taking their share of the profits. Understanding the cocoa supply chain is crucial for understanding why African farmers, despite their hard work, receive such a small slice of the pie. After drying, local buyers purchase the beans from farmers, often at prices dictated by global commodity markets. These buyers then transport the beans to warehouses, where they are graded, sorted, and prepared for export. Shipping companies then transport the beans across the ocean to processing facilities in Europe, North America, and increasingly, Asia. At these processing facilities, the beans undergo a series of transformations. They are cleaned, roasted, and ground into a thick paste called cocoa liquor. This liquor is then pressed to separate the cocoa butter from the cocoa solids. These two components, along with sugar and other ingredients, form the base for a wide range of chocolate products. The final stages of the cocoa supply chain are dominated by a handful of multinational companies. These companies purchase the processed cocoa butter and solids, transforming them into the chocolate bars, candies, and beverages that line supermarket shelves worldwide. These companies wield immense power within the industry. They control global distribution networks, invest heavily in marketing and branding, and often dictate prices to both suppliers and consumers. While these companies often tout their commitment to sustainability and ethical sourcing, they have faced increasing scrutiny for their role in perpetuating poverty and exploitation within the cocoa supply chain. Critics argue that these companies prioritize profit maximization over the well-being of farmers, often paying prices that barely cover the costs of production. This power imbalance leaves farmers vulnerable to price fluctuations, market volatility, and the whims of global demand. Moreover, the concentration of market power in the hands of a few multinational companies limits competition and innovation within the industry. This lack of competition can stifle efforts to improve farmer livelihoods, promote sustainable farming practices, and ensure a more equitable distribution of profits. Section 5. Trapped in a cycle. Poverty and exploitation. The consequences of this unequal system are acutely felt by African cocoa farmers, many of whom live in poverty despite their essential role in the global chocolate industry. The low prices they receive for their beans often fail to cover the costs of production, leaving them trapped in a cycle of debt and dependency. This cycle of poverty has dire consequences, not only for farmers and their families, but also for the future of the cocoa industry itself. Many farmers struggle to afford essential inputs like fertilizers and pesticides, leading to declining yields and soil degradation. This, in turn, perpetuates the cycle of poverty, forcing farmers into further debt and making it difficult to invest in their farms or improve their livelihoods. This vicious cycle also contributes to deforestation, as farmers clear new land for cocoa production to compensate for declining yields on existing farms. The lack of economic opportunity also drives social problems, such as child labor. With limited access to education and healthcare, many children are forced to work on cocoa farms to supplement their families' incomes. This exploitation of child labor is a stain on the chocolate industry, casting a long shadow over the enjoyment of this beloved treat. Section 6. A fairer deal. The promise of fair trade. Breaking this cycle of poverty and exploitation requires a fundamental shift in the way the cocoa industry operates. One promising avenue for change is the growth of fair trade practices. Fair trade organizations work directly with farmer cooperatives, guaranteeing a minimum price for their beans and providing additional premiums that can be invested in community development projects. These premiums can fund the construction of schools and healthcare clinics, improve access to clean water and sanitation, and provide training on sustainable farming practices. By ensuring a fairer price for their beans, fair trade empowers farmers to invest in their farms, improve their livelihoods, and break free from the cycle of poverty. However, the impact of fair trade remains limited. The volume of cocoa traded under fair trade agreements is still a small fraction of the overall market. More consumers need to actively seek out and purchase fair trade chocolate to create a significant shift in demand and incentivize more companies to adopt ethical sourcing practices. Section 7. Beyond the price tag, ethical consumption. Consumers hold immense power to drive change in the cocoa industry. Every time we purchase a chocolate bar, we are casting a vote with our wallets, supporting the practices of the companies we choose to buy from. By becoming more informed and discerning consumers, we can create a powerful demand signal for ethically sourced chocolate that supports farmer livelihoods. Start by reading labels and looking for certifications like Fairtrade, Rainforest Alliance, and UTZ. These certifications indicate that the cocoa used in the product has been sourced according to certain social and environmental standards, although the rigor and impact of these certifications vary. Beyond certifications, research the companies behind your favorite chocolate brands. Look for companies that demonstrate a genuine commitment to ethical sourcing, farmer empowerment, and environmental sustainability. Engaging with companies on social media, writing letters, and supporting organizations working to improve the cocoa industry can also amplify our impact. By using our voices and our purchasing power, we can contribute to a more just and sustainable chocolate industry. Section 8. Empowering farmers, investing in Africa's future. Addressing the cocoa conundrum requires a multifaceted approach that goes beyond simply paying farmers a fairer price. It demands a long-term commitment to empowering farmers and investing in the future of cocoa-producing communities in Africa. This includes supporting farmer cooperatives, promoting access to education and training, and fostering innovation within the industry. Investing in farmer cooperatives can strengthen their bargaining power, enabling them to negotiate better prices for their beans and access essential resources like training and financing. Providing access to education and training can equip farmers with the knowledge and skills to improve their farming practices, increase yields, and diversify their incomes. Fostering innovation within the cocoa industry, from developing drought-resistant cocoa varieties to exploring new value-added products, can enhance productivity, reduce environmental impact, and create new economic opportunities for cocoa-producing communities. Section 9. A shared responsibility towards a more equitable cocoa industry. The cocoa conundrum is a stark reminder of the interconnectedness of our world and the shared responsibility we have in creating a more just and sustainable future. It is a call to action for all stakeholders, from governments and multinational companies to consumers, to work together to create a cocoa industry that benefits everyone involved, from the farmers who cultivate the beans to the consumers who savor the sweet taste of chocolate. Governments in cocoa-producing countries have a crucial role to play in strengthening land rights for farmers, investing in rural infrastructure, and promoting sustainable agricultural practices. Multinational chocolate companies must move beyond rhetoric and implement concrete actions to ensure ethical sourcing, pay farmers a living wage, and invest in the long-term sustainability of the cocoa industry. Ultimately, the responsibility lies with all of us. By choosing fair trade chocolate, supporting ethical companies, and raising awareness about the plight of cocoa farmers, we can contribute to a sweeter future for everyone. Let us use our collective power to transform the cocoa industry from a symbol of exploitation to a model of equitable and sustainable development.